After 4 incredible days of trail riding in Monchique, I reluctantly said goodbye to the beautiful hotel and the lovely people I'd met and hit the road again. The first couple of days were tough. The weather was miserable, it rained relentlessly, and I was on a serious come down after the high of trail riding. But on the afternoon of the 11th of March, I arrived at a brilliant campsite in Cáceres. I booked a single room that had parking right outside the door. This place had everything I needed: a shop with all the essentials to stock up on food and snacks, a laundry room so I could sort out my gear for the rest of the trip, and even a bar and restaurant, meaning I didn't have to go searching for dinner in the rain. This spot was a total gem for bikers. It was the perfect place to reset before the next leg of the journey. I left Monchique on the 10th of March with plans to meet a couple of friends in Logroño on the 16th, giving me 6 days to make my way across Spain. The shortest route from Monchique to Logroño is around 1,000 kilometers. I didn't plan exactly how I'd get there, but I knew if I did around 200 kilometers a day in the right direction, I should get there on time. From Cáceres, I headed towards La Alberca, winding through the rugged beauty of the Parque Natural Las Batuecas Sierra de Francia on the SA 201. This road twists through rugged mountain scenery, leading to a tight winding pass just before reaching the historic town itself. Nestled in the Sierra de Francia mountains, La Alberca is one of Spain's best preserved medieval villages. This was the first village in Spain to be declared a National Historic Site. The night I stayed there, I heard a bell ringing in the distance, and after a little research, I discovered that every evening, just after dusk, a local woman walks through the village ringing a handbell, reciting prayers aloud for the souls of the dead. She's known as La Anima, the soul, and the tradition is called El Toque de Animas, the tolling of the souls. From here I travelled to Abadía de la Santa Cruz del Valle de los Caídos. This translates to Abbey of the Holy Cross of the Valley of the Fallen. I stayed in the monastery here. This is a massive underground basilica and abbey carved into a mountain in the Sierra de Guadarrama, around 50 kilometers from Madrid. It's topped by a 150-meter cross, the tallest in the world, which looms over the entire city. Continuing my journey to meet my friends in Logroño, I found myself just outside the city of Soria. Sitting at an elevation of 1,063 meters and still early in the year, I woke up to freezing temperatures and set off that morning through falling snow. Thankfully the roads were well salted and my waterproof jumpsuit kept me warm and dry. As I neared Logronio and dropped closer to sea level, the temperatures warmed up to something more reasonable, and snow-capped mountains turned into towering red rock formations, all within around an hour and a half. I met my friends in the early afternoon, had some food, then headed out on a short spin. The next morning, the three of us headed to Bardenas Reales, a semi-desert natural park about an hour and a half from Logronio. Covering 42,000 hectares, it's absolutely massive and free to visit. It's perfect for exploring by motorbike, with mostly flat gravel roads that are manageable for nearly anybody. Bardenas Reales is a UNESCO biosphere reserve and home to plenty of bird life, including eagles and vultures. It's also an active Spanish Air Force military zone, so drone flying is strictly prohibited. The landscape is shaped by easily eroded chalk, clay and sandstone, creating dramatic cliffs, lone rock formations and vast badlands. It's like riding through another planet. From Bardenas Reales, we spent the night in Zaragoza, where one of us split off the next morning. We spent a couple of nights in Lida, close to Andorra, where we spent a day. We moved from there to Longas, a rural town not far from Zaragoza, then crossed the border into Ustaritz in France for a night. This brought us through the incredible rolling hills of the Basque countryside. We did close to 200 kilometers of twisty mountain roads through beautiful towns, villages and farmlands. I couldn't think of a better way to see all of this than on a motorbike. After a peaceful night in France, we went in search of breakfast and found a little cafe serving croissants and coffee. €20 later, we were back on the road and crossing into Spain for the final leg of the trip, a 170-kilometre journey to our last overnight stop. Hotel Santuario de Aranzazu is tucked deep into the Basque Mountains. The ride here alone is worth it. The views are incredible. You can park your bike right at the front door and the place has everything you'd want to wrap up a trip. A bar, a restaurant and even a buffet breakfast. It was the perfect spot to finish things off. The next morning we took the short ride back to Bilbao to catch the ferry home. This past month flew by. I had no idea how it was all going to pan out after so much planning and anticipation, but it went even better than I could have hoped. From following in my dad's footsteps through the towering Picos de Europa, weaving into the Douro Valley, tasting port wine and soaking in the landscape, to trail riding in Monchique, which felt like a dream, the whole thing was unreal. Inevitably there were lows too, like the heavy feeling of leaving Monchique behind, but the ride back got better the further north I got. Nights spent with friends, riding through the otherworldly Bardenas Reales, and finally finishing the trip where it began, back in the beautiful Basque countryside. I'm so glad I pushed myself out of my comfort zone to make this trip happen. All the prep, the gear I worked and saved for, the nerves, it was all 100% worth it, and I'm honestly really proud of myself for going for it. This definitely isn't the last adventure. I've already got a big trip lined up for this summer on the bike, so keep an eye on the channel for more. If you've been enjoying the videos in this series, don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you so much for following along.